Entropy by Tugay Kaban for Oynatma Listelerimiz. A stone fell from a great height. It descended slowly. As it approached the ground, it didn't make contact with the surface. I was between the ground and the stone. My body lay flat on my back. The stone settled onto my chest. It wasn't heavy, but it was cold like a block of ice. There was nothing on my chest, not even a shirt. Yet I don't like walking around half naked. The stone wasn't heavy, but it was cold like a harsh wind. Even if I wasn't half naked, I would feel this coldness. After a while, I heard a groan from 10 or 15 steps away from me. I lifted my head and looked. I saw a man lying down like me, holding a stone on his chest. It was Davud. I called out to him. He didn't hear me at first. "Davud! It's hot," he said. "This stone is too hot. Davud! Would you wake up already? Davud! Who is sleeping?" The surroundings were dark. We were in pitch darkness, but my eyes could see. Not everything, but I wasn't seeing with my eyes. I somehow knew this. "Wake up!" Davud shouted. I could hear. Not everything, but I wasn't hearing with my ears. I somehow felt this. I finally realized that I was asleep. I was in a dream, probably my own dream. It belonged to me. But my dream wasn't given to me. I was given to my dream, although it was always like this. "A stone is falling," Davud exclaimed with groans. Another stone was falling, a very large stone, perhaps as big as a mountain. It fell rapidly and collided with a loud noise. The ground beneath us collapsed. Davud fell. After a while, I fell too. I needed to wake up as soon as possible. I was thinking about this somehow. I was like a television that could be turned on and off with a remote, untouched and unapproachable. The stone was still on my chest, but it no longer made me cold. I fell for a long time, spinning and turning, until I finally found myself sitting on a chair. There was a table in the middle with food on it, and many people sitting around it. We were about 15 or 20 people. I looked for Davud with my eyes, and for a moment I thought I had found him. But then I lost him again. Nobody's face was still. All the faces were constantly changing, and no expression could stay the same for long. Everyone was eating and talking feverishly. They had no fork, spoon, or knife, but toothbrushes instead. They were all using their toothbrushes to eat their food. Everyone's teeth were shining bright. I was reminded of an episode of The Smurfs that I watched when I was 7 or 8 years old. All the Smurfs were trapped in a dream created by Gargamel. Papa Smurf was trying to calm them down and said, "The only way to escape from a dream is to know that you are in one, my dear Smurfs. If you know that you are in a dream, you can wake up and influence the things in the dream." I remembered Papa Smurf's words from before. I wanted to get up. I knew I was in a dream. I wanted to wake up. But it didn't work like Papa Smurf said. Someone whose face was constantly changing and whom I couldn't recognize was talking to me as if they were in front of me at the far end of the table. And I was hearing them as if they were in front of me. I was looking at them as if they were in front of me. "You finally made it. It's been so long, hasn't it? It must have been tough for you. Are you tired?" I had no mouth, but I could somehow see this. The stone in my chest began to speak. It had no mouth either, but its voice was audible. "I finally made it. It's been a long time, hasn't it? It was tough for me. I am tired." And then it started singing a song. "If I could smile, I could wake you up. Ha ha ha, wake you up, ha ha ha, wake you up. I could take your head off with an axe. Ha ha ha, your head, ha ha ha, your head. How long had I been dreaming? How many hours? How many days?" I heard Davud's voice next to my ear. "The doctors are here, we're going, come on." "I can't move, Davud," I said. I had no mouth, but I had somehow spoken. "You don't need to move, just do as I say. Get up, come on." "What are you talking about, Davud?" I looked angry, but I didn't know who I was looking at. The stone in my chest continued singing its song. "If only I could come to your mind. You could have loved me. Ha ha ha. You could have loved me. Ha ha ha. You could have loved me. Yet I was the one who taught you how to love yourself. Ha ha ha, I taught you, ha ha ha, I taught you." Dawood's hands reached for the plate in front of me. The front of the table was at the bottom of a well. A greasy toothbrush was rubbing against my teeth. My brain was on my plate. Ha ha ha, I didn't die, ha ha ha, I didn't die. My legs were hanging down from the sides of my shoulders instead of my arms. There was a hand where my penis used to be, a 7-fingered hand. My hair was falling over my ears. I was sitting on top of my face. I thought the chairs were made of wood, but they were carved out of big ginger roots. My cheeks were burning. Ha ha ha, you went silent, ha ha ha, you went silent. Stop, that's enough, said the woman at the head of the group. They pressed the red button among many keys. The man lying half on the chair stopped trembling, and his body relaxed suddenly, like a bow that had been held tight for a long time, and was suddenly released. The woman went over to the printer, which looked like it had been spat upon by a pile of papers, and waited for the last sheet to come out. The paper was slowly and shakily emerging from the printer's mouth. The printer was trying to push the paper out with small tremors. A little while later, the paper dropped onto the tray, tired and warm. The woman took the papers from the tray and began examining them. Much better, she exclaimed, turning to the others in the room. Everyone started to smile. An old man came over to the woman and hugged her, whispering into her ear, which was hidden in her hair, I love you. This will be my best novel. The woman didn't respond, but a faint smile appeared on her lips. She quickly became serious and began speaking to the others in the room. We've made significant progress. We will reach the end of what the human mind can produce together. Inspiration will no longer be necessary. The mind will be able to write everything on its own, she said, raising the papers in her hand. The people in the room started applauding enthusiastically. When the woman began speaking again, the applause died down. Goya was right, but he was incomplete. The sleep of the mind doesn't just produce monsters. The sleep of the mind can also produce a new mind.